Have you ever wondered what's really inside Fort Knox? For decades, this legendary fortress in Kentucky has been the subject of wild speculation and some truly mind-boggling conspiracy theories. Officially, it holds a massive portion of the United States gold reserves, but some people are convinced that the vaults have been empty for years. Let's dive into the drama and separate the facts from the fiction. The story begins in the 1930s. President Franklin D. Roosevelt, grappling with the Great Depression, made it illegal for private citizens to own gold. This move consolidated the nation's gold into government hands, and Fort Knox was built to protect this immense treasure. We're talking about a fortress with walls of steel-reinforced concrete, a 20-ton vault door, and surrounded by a military base. It's designed to be the most secure place on Earth. For decades, the gold just sat there, a symbol of American economic power. But then, the whispers started. The drama really kicked off in the 1970s. America was going through some tough economic times, and President Nixon made a world-changing decision. He took the U.S. dollar off the gold standard. This meant the dollar's value was no longer directly tied to a fixed amount of gold. This move fueled the fire for conspiracy theorists. They started asking, if the dollar isn't backed by gold anymore, do we even need all that gold? And more importantly, is it still there? The theory goes that powerful, shadowy figures had secretly sold off or leased America's gold to foreign banks and governments, leaving the vaults at Fort Knox completely bare. The government, of course, has always denied these claims. They insist that the gold is safe and sound. But here's where it gets interesting. Public access to the vaults is almost non-existent. The last major audit and public viewing was way back in 1953 during the Eisenhower administration. Think about that, over 70 years ago. In 1974, in an attempt to quash the rumors, a small group of journalists and congressmen were allowed a very brief, highly controlled tour. They saw stacks of gold bars, but critics were quick to point out they only saw a tiny fraction of one compartment. They argued it could have been a setup, a Potemkin village of gold to fool the public. They claimed the bars might have been tungsten bricks coated in a thin layer of gold. The pressure mounted again in the 2010s. Ron Paul, a congressman and vocal critic, led a campaign called Audit the Fed, demanding a full independent audit of the Fort Knox gold. The Treasury Department responded in 2017 with their own audit, complete with photos of sealed vaults and signed statements from officials. They confirmed that approximately 147 million troy ounces of gold were securely stored. But for the true believers, this wasn't enough. They argued that an internal government audit isn't the same as a truly independent one. They want every single bar tested, weighed, and accounted for by a neutral third party. Until that happens, they say, the mystery remains. So, what's the verdict? Is Fort Knox full of glittering gold, or is it the scene of the biggest heist in history? The most likely answer is that the gold is exactly where the government says it is. The logistical nightmare and sheer scale of secretly removing thousands of tons of gold from the world's most secure facility without anyone noticing seems almost impossible. But the Fort Knox drama is a powerful story because it taps into our distrust of large institutions and our love for a good mystery. It's a tale of immense wealth, government secrecy, and the lingering question, can we truly believe what we're told? The legend of the empty vault lives on, not because of hard evidence, but because it's a fascinating what-if that captures the imagination. What do you think? Is it all just a conspiracy, or could there be some truth to the rumors? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more intriguing stories. See you next time.